I'm 5 days in with the LG G2, and there are a couple of things I'm already finding myself really enjoying about this device. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and on day 5, we're talking battery life, network connectivity, and screen size. Let's kick it off. Day 5 with the LG G2 is part of a 30-day challenge, and I want to hit you with a couple of answers that you've asked me on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron and on Facebook at Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker. The first question I get all the time about the LG G2 involves the volume rocker on the back and the power button, and that question is, in the pocket, do the buttons press? Do I pull it out of my pocket, for example, and see the screen on a regular basis, or the camera activated, or all the other shortcut things on this device that are powered by pressing and holding the volume rocker button, for example, as you can see right there? The answer to that is no. I haven't had any time whatsoever where I pulled it out of my pocket and the display has been lit or these buttons have been pressed. I do watch Suits on a pretty regular basis, so when I say lit, I think of Louis Litt. Shout out to Suits. Anyway, power button, volume rocker here, do not see that when I pull it out of my pocket. I do find myself doing this on a pretty regular basis though, powering the device on and off, or the display at least, doing the double tap mechanism. When I'm not doing that, another question I got on Twitter was, can I do it one-handed? Yes. In fact, I've never used two hands to turn this device on. I mean, it's right there where my index finger sits, so I hold it like this, power it on, and the device is powered on and ready to go. Now, the AT&T 4G LTE version's been here for a couple of days, and we'll jump right in and take a look at speed tests, because I know that's a question you're probably asking. How do the speeds here compare versus the HSPA model that we've been working with for a little while longer? So we'll go into tools here. We'll find a local server. We use the Dallas server right here, and we'll speed test this sucker. Now, I will say my office space is not the best for 4G LTE connectivity, but of course I'm in Dallas, which is fantastic for AT&T. I see speeds regularly at my house between 25 and about 50 megabits per second on the download. Upload speed's a little slower. I've seen speeds, I believe, as high as, let me think, I gotta think back because I do delete those pretty regularly, 15 or 20 megabits per second if I'm thinking correctly. Right here though, 8.70 megabits per second, 7.51 megabits per second on the upload. 4G LTE, definitely a nice thing to have after working with HSPA. I'm very spoiled by it, by being in Dallas. The speeds are very fast, and actually they're fast all around most of North Texas that has 4G LTE right now. In fact, Tyler's getting 4G LTE very soon, so woot woot to that. It was in a press release not too long ago from AT&T, so glad to see that as well. Lighting it up in East Texas. You go AT&T. Anyway, that's great. We'll do a quick quadrant standard speed test here as well. So if you took a look at the review or the dogfight between the HTC One, you may have saw this. But we're going to do another speed test here to take a look, and I'll talk to you about one of my favorite things about this device. 5 days in, I love two things. The display, and there are actually more than two things I like about it, but the two things that come to mind immediately, the display. 5.2 inches, great sweet spot between too big, 5.5, 5.7, 6.44 inches. This thing fits in your pocket and it feels more like a phone than a phablet. So you get that phone look and feel, but you got a nice big 5.2 inch 1080p HD display for great things like content creation on YouTube, or content consumption, I should say, on YouTube, or browsing the web. Love having that. It's great for typing. I send and receive a lot of emails from my phone while I'm on the go, or perhaps when I'm laying in bed at night and don't want to pull out my computer. It's nice to be able to have a nice big display to do that with. 20,037 on quadrant standard. And last but not least, I'll talk about my other favorite thing, and actually this might even take the display's place, the 3,000 milliamp hour battery in this device. It slots somewhere in battery consumption wise in between the Galaxy S4 and the Galaxy Note 2, right up there with the LG Optimus G Pro. This thing is awesome on the battery life department, due in part to a new technology they're utilizing in the battery on the LG G2, but also because it's a big battery. Even with 4G LTE, I'm getting impressive battery numbers here. I just charged it, so I'll have to wait till the next video to give you a really accurate indicator here. But we're at 89%. After pulling the sucker off the charger this morning at 7 o'clock. Actually waited a little while to pull it off the charger, but continues to be impressive. Very pleased with the battery life, and for me, display and battery life, those both get wins, so overall 5 days in, I'm pretty happy. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com. Much more coverage to come on the LG G2 in the 30-day challenge. In the meantime, let me know what you want to see. PhoneDog_Aaron on Twitter, Facebook, Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker. Hit me with the questions that you want to see covered in this 30-day challenge. I'll be back soon with an update on the G2. I'll see you next time.